The hallways of Briar High School echoed with laughter, but not the kind that warmed hearts. This laughter was sharp, cruel, and aimed straight at a girl who had spent her life learning to control her strength, not show it. They had no idea who they were messing with. Because Mia Carter wasn't just a quiet transfer student with glasses and books clutched to her chest. She was a black belt in karate, and today, these bullies were going to find out the hard way. Story begins. Mia Carter, 16, had always been taught one thing by her father, a retired martial arts instructor: real strength doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to know when to rise. When she moved to Briar High mid-semester, she hoped to fly under the radar. She didn't want attention. She didn't want drama. She just wanted to finish high school, make her dad proud, and hopefully get a scholarship to the National Martial Arts Academy. But high school rarely respects quiet strength. It started on her first day. A spilled tray in the cafeteria. Snide remarks about her thrift store jeans. Mocking laughter when she quietly excused herself after class to meditate in the gym instead of scrolling on her phone. Mia didn't react. She knew bullies thrived on reaction. She'd dealt with worse during her early years in the city: kids who'd stolen her lunch, pushed her in puddles, even tried to scare her after school. But martial arts had changed her. Not just her body, but her soul. She didn't fight unless she had to. And she never started anything. But things began to escalate quickly. There were 3 girls who ruled Briar High's social scene like a mean-spirited monarchy: Lexi, the queen bee; Tori, her always laughing sidekick; and Harper, the silent but intimidating presence. Lexi didn't like Mia. She didn't like how Mia ignored her. How she didn't try to fit in. And worst of all, she didn't like how Mia's calmness made her feel small. So she decided to make Mia pay. The humiliation. It was Friday, the day of the pep rally. The entire school was gathered in the gym, cheering, shouting, blowing off steam. Mia, as always, sat quietly on the side bleachers, scribbling notes into her notebook: techniques, reflections, a quote her father had sent her that morning: courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Lexi saw her opportunity. With everyone distracted, she marched over with her girls and snatched Mia's notebook. "Ah, what's this? Mindfulness and breathing techniques? You practicing to be a monk or something?" Lexi sneered. Mia stood up, calm but firm. "Give it back." "Oh, who, scary? Or what? You gonna karate chop me?" Tori mocked, making fake ninja moves. The crowd noticed now. Phones came out. Laughter swirled. Then Lexi did it. She tore the notebook in half, the pages fluttering like broken feathers across the gym floor. Mia froze. It wasn't the notebook. It was what was in it: the letters from her dad, the goals she'd written, her scholarship essay draft. Lexi had just shredded her anchor. The crowd laughed. Mia picked up the pieces slowly. Silently. Lexi leaned closer. "What? No comeback? No tears? You really are a freak." And then she shoved Mia. Hard. The awakening? That was the moment. Not the words. Not the mockery. The shove. Because Mia remembered what her dad had always said: you don't fight for pride. You fight to protect. Even if it's protecting yourself. She took one step back. Removed her shoes. Placed them on the bleachers. And then she stood in front of Lexi. Calm. Collected. Centered. "I warned you," she said softly. Lexi scoffed, but Mia was already moving. In a flash, she sidestepped Tori's attempt to grab her, using a perfect redirecting wristlock to send her stumbling to the floor. Gasps. Harper stepped in, towering, arms raised, but Mia ducked low, swept her leg in a controlled takedown, and Harper hit the mat with a thud. The gym fell silent. Lexi stood alone now. Mia didn't attack. She didn't need to. Lexi lunged, rage boiling, but Mia parried the attack with graceful ease, locked Lexi's arm, and turned her around in a defensive hold. One move. No harm. Total control. Apologize, Mia said, voice like steel. Lexi whimpered. I'm sorry. The gym erupted, not with laughter, but with cheers. Phones were still out. But now, they were recording a girl who had finally stood up, not out of anger, but out of dignity. The aftermath? Mia didn't get suspended. Several students backed her up, including a teacher who had seen most of the scene unfold. And while the school discouraged fighting, they couldn't deny the power of self-defense. Lexi and her crew were suspended for bullying and harassment. But the real victory? People started to talk to Mia. Not out of fear, but out of respect. She started a small self-defense group at school, especially for girls who had felt powerless. Every Wednesday after classes, she taught breathing, posture, and basic moves. She didn't teach them to fight. She taught them to stand. Her story went viral online. Colleges noticed. And yes, the National Martial Arts Academy offered her a scholarship. But that wasn't the highlight. The highlight was the message Mia started every class with. Being strong doesn't mean hurting others. It means knowing when not to. And when to stand up for yourself with everything you've got. Conclusion, final message. To anyone watching this video, maybe you felt small. Invisible. Maybe you've been pushed, mocked, laughed at for being different. Maybe people underestimate you because you choose kindness instead of chaos. But let Mia's story remind you. You don't have to roar to be powerful. You just have to know your worth and rise when it matters most. Sparkles call to action. Sparkles. Folded hands. If this story inspired you, comment below with #RiseLikeMia and tell us, have you ever stood up for yourself or someone else? We want to hear your voice. Bell subscribe to Be Kind always for more powerful stories of transformation, courage, and justice. Thumbs up. Don't forget to like and share this video to inspire someone who needs it today. Remember, kindness is strength. And when strength meets purpose, nothing can break you. Flexed biceps.